Rugas are rough.
Rugae.
What happens to the rugae when you eat a big meal?
Expands?
And stretch. It's for the stretching of the stomach, so it can distend or stretch quite well. What is this valve right here that I'm pointing to?
Pyloric sphincter.
Where the material is exiting the stomach, leaving it, it's the pyloric sphincter that it has to go through that opens up to let it out.
Boom.
Now you can't see it too well, but up under here there's lower esophageal, or also known as cardiac sphincter, which when you pass food into the stomach, it closes behind, trying to keep it in there, because it's so acidic that if that opens up and lets material come up into the esophagus, then you're going to get a lot of inflammation. What do you call that?
Acid reflux.
Acid reflux or
GERD.
Gastroesophageal reflux. Let's keep going down, see what else we can see here. When we get to the pancreas. We just lost the transverse colon. Well, we should be able to see the descending, which is right there. Now you can see it quite clearly. And the sigmoid. And the rectum. The rectum is quite different than the colon. It doesn't have the tinea coli. Whoops. Can't label them there. Can't label it there either. There we go. All of this band of muscle is the tinea coli. Tinea coli translated means ribbons of the colon. So you've got ribbon-like muscles on either side that gather it up. But the rectum has got muscles all the way around. The longitudinal muscles, the outer muscles, are all the way around, and it's much more muscular than the colon would be.
What did you say the tinea coli translated means?
Ribbons of the colon.
Oh, it's written in them.
You've had micro, right?
Mm-hmm.
Remember tinea, pisiformis, and
Yeah.
what's the beef one? The tapeworms?
Oh, yeah.
Tinea means ribbon, because they're shaped like a ribbon.
Oh, okay.
And it doesn't. It's not going to show the anus. There are views in here where you could show that. Of course, you could go and find that. But you see, showing up behind all this tissue here is a loop of the intestine, kind of U-shaped, variously called the duodenum or duodenum. And that is your first, about 10-inch long part of your small intestine. Let me go a little further, and we'll get to the highlight mode and show exactly what we're talking about. This is the duodenum right there. This is not. When it kinks and starts flexing downward, it becomes the, what's the second part? Of the small intestine. Jejunum. There's the duodenum. Now they're going to break it up into different parts, but you just notice the last word, duodenum. There's the pyloric sphincter. There's the jejunum over there. That's where it starts. What is this?
Pancreas.
Pancreas. Pancreas extends from the duodenum, the inner curvature, smaller curvature of the duodenum, over to the spleen, and sits behind, mostly behind, an organ called the stomach. Because we've taken the stomach out now, out of the way. And let's keep going, unless you want to photograph this, but I don't see why you want to. You'll know what it is. And let's keep going. Let's get the blood vessels out of there. First, let's do this. Let's show at least 3 parts of the pancreas. The part that fits into the duodenum is the what? This part right here. Head. Don't you wish all was this easy? Main part is the body. And over here toward the spleen is the tail of the pancreas. So you can't find the neck here for some reason on this one, but it would be right about in here where it kind of kinks a little bit. You'll see a neck there. You'll see it in your textbook anyway. So I want to open up the pancreas now. You tell me what this channel is right here that's collecting pancreatic fluids from the pancreas.
Main
Digestive juices. You can either call it the pancreatic duct or more completely the main pancreatic duct. And that's what they call it here. And that's what I did wrong there.
Is that also the duct of Wirsum?
Duct of Wirsum. W-I-R-S-U-N-G, ductum wirsum. They're trying to make things a little more meaningful today than just applying people's names to stuff. You see, that's the reason. This little duct right here, which takes off on its own and goes upward, accessory pancreatic duct. I actually like its old name better. It's the duct of Santorini. That's such a nice flow to it, duct of Santorini. And I did it again. Hit the mouse roller. That's what
Darn
happens
scroll
when you do
button,
that.
man.
Huh?
It's like that scroll button, you just tap it.
The scroll button, I tap it, it'll go through the layers too, you know, but it gets rid of everything. This is also the main duct here. It passes down and joins with a duct that carries green stuff. What do you call the duct that carries green stuff?
Bile.
Common bile duct. Right there. You don't see it because it's kind of behind everything, but the main pancreatic duct joins the bile duct to form the hepatopancreatic what? If you read it in the manual, I think it's in the manual, hepatopancreatic ampulla.
Ampulla.
An ampulla is a little chamber, and that's what was formed there. So bile, whenever you eat a fatty meal, bile is squeezed down from the gallbladder. Pancreatic fluids flow out of the pancreas for digestion, and they mix together and go into your small intestine, into your duodenum, and start doing their thing. What does the bile do? Well, it breaks up the fat, emulsifies it. The pancreatic fluids will digest various foods that are in there, which we'll get more into in lecture.
Where's the sphincter of Odi or Odi?
Hepatopancreatic sphincter, sphincter of Odi, is hidden from us.
Oh, okay.
It's in the wall. It's in the lining of the duodenum.
Okay.
In fact, the duodenal musculature forms that circular valve there. But we don't see it here. Take a look in your textbook. That's got a good view, and the PowerPoints. This does not.
Where does most of that digestion occur in the small?
85% of your digestion occurs in your small intestine, right? A little bit in your mouth, some in your stomach, but majority in your intestine. And also the absorbing of this material occurs